Singapore has one of the best public transport systems in Asia. More than 4 million journeys happen each day. Despite this, taxis have remained a popular mode of transport for those looking to save time or just a more comfortable ride. And it is in the taxi space that we are seeing some very interesting business model innovation.
Taxi is a mobile app that allows a commuter to get a taxi through their smartphone. Grab Taxi entered Singapore in 2013. We are doing more rides today in one day than we did in the whole of January.
Traditionally, big taxi companies owned both the taxi fleets as well as the tech infrastructure, including booking facilities using apps, messaging and phone calls. Recently though, a new wave of companies have emerged that bypass the hardware and offer purely software solutions to let commuters book a cab.
These are two different business models, The old traditional model had the fleet and also provided the system to book a taxi. Grab Taxi, for instance, is a case. They allow you to have access to the entire fleet from the different operators. That is 28,000 taxis. In real time, you can make the booking, as opposed to if you have to use an operator-based system, you have to have multiple applications.
Naturally, these two business models offer very different user experiences. Take taxi drivers, for instance. Which model benefits them the most?
The business models for a taxi booking app like us and a traditional taxi company is very, very different. Right? From a business model perspective, we make our revenue, we generate revenue from each transaction, and it's typically about 30 cents per transaction. So if you take an average taxi driver who takes maybe 30 jobs a day, and if they take all the jobs with Grab Taxi, we make about $9 a day from that taxi driver. Whereas for a traditional taxi company, where they rent out their taxis to their drivers, they make anywhere between $80 to $130 per day from each driver. So that's the main difference.
The biggest challenge from the commuter's perspective is the struggle to get a cab at certain localities at peak hours.
Getting back from the office, which is in the shipyard area, sometimes I have to wait more than 1 hour to get a taxi, which is very inconvenient. So that's also back to the MRT. If the MRT were there, I would take it.
Despite having a large number of taxis on the streets, why is this bottleneck being created?
Despite having 28,000 taxis on the road, we're doing about 900,000 rides a day. But if you compare that to Hong Kong, for example, right, they have 18,000 taxis, so significantly less taxis in Singapore, but they're doing close to 1 million rides a day. We have 28,000 taxis on the road, but in order to fully meet the demand during peak hours, we need like 40,000 taxis. And it's not practical simply because we don't need 40,000 taxis during off-peak hours. So where are you going to park the rest of the 15,000 whatever taxis, right? There will come a day where we'll need to explore other modes of doing this. So whether it's non-taxis, whether it's sharing a ride, utilization of cars or vehicles is actually very low. Most cars in Singapore is not occupied more than 10% of the time. Right? You drive to work maybe and you park it there. So I think there are some initiatives that's going on to utilize all these opportunities to solve the problem by various parties. Yeah.
Software-focused businesses like Grab Taxi are successfully demonstrating that the future of optimization may lie in specialization services and greater cooperation between hardware and software-centric business models.
Clearly, Grab Taxi, in this case, didn't have to invest heavily in fixed assets, and all what they needed is an office and great ideas and technology folks. And here they are competing with traditional businesses that have heavily invested in infrastructure and fixed assets. So the message I would think that what matters going forward is great ideas and the ability to leverage from technology to challenge the norm, to create new business models that would really deliver value to customers.